Kids, when I was your age, I was always the shortest one in line. I remember straining my neck, trying to see over everyone's shoulders. At potlucks, I'd weave through the grown-ups like a tiny mouse. I was always on a mission, hunting for a glimpse of the dessert table. So, when I read this story about Zacchaeus, I don't just see a Bible character. I picture a real person, constantly blocked by taller people and bigger feelings. Zacchaeus lived in Jericho, a bustling city full of life. Sandals scraped against the stone streets, creating a constant buzz. Merchants shouted their prices, trying to attract customers all day long. He worked as a tax collector, which meant he collected money for the ruling government. Unfortunately, people believed he took more than he was supposed to. Whether those rumors were completely true or not, one thing was certain. Most folks in Jericho didn't particularly care for Zacchaeus. When Zacchaeus walked by, conversations would often fall silent. Eyes would narrow and sharpen, watching his every move with suspicion. Then, one day, exciting news spread like wildfire through the town. Word was going around that Jesus himself was coming through Jericho. Zacchaeus was incredibly eager to see him with his own eyes. He didn't just want to hear stories, he wanted to witness it himself. But there was a problem. Zacchaeus was a very short man, and the crowd that day was incredibly thick and dense. Nobody seemed to be in the mood to make room for him, not even a little bit. Elbows stayed stubbornly planted, and backs remained firmly turned against him. It wasn't just his lack of height that kept him from seeing Jesus. It was also his reputation, which preceded him wherever he went. So, Zacchaeus decided to do something that always makes me smile. He ran ahead of the crowd, his heart pounding with anticipation. He spotted a large sycamore tree and quickly climbed up into its branches. Now, in that culture, important men simply didn't run in public, and they most certainly didn't climb trees like ordinary neighborhood kids. But Zacchaeus didn't care about any of that on this particular day. He grabbed onto the rough bark with his hands, pulling himself upward. He found a sturdy branch and settled in, waiting with bated breath. His chest was rising and falling rapidly, filled with excitement. The leaves tickled his cheeks as he peered through the branches. Soon, the crowd began to flow in like a rushing river, a sea of faces. And then, there he was, Jesus, walking calmly amidst the throng. And here's the part of the story that always feels like a miracle, unfolding in slow motion. Jesus stopped directly under the tree where Zacchaeus was hiding. He looked right up at the very man everyone else seemed to overlook. Then, in a clear and strong voice, Jesus said, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately," he continued. "I must stay at your house today. Not, maybe later if you're free. Not, if you clean yourself up first. But I must." It was a direct and heartfelt invitation. Zacchaeus was so surprised and overjoyed that he nearly fell while climbing down. He scrambled to the ground and welcomed Jesus with overwhelming joy. Meanwhile, the people in the crowd began to mutter amongst themselves. They whispered, "He's going to that Times man's house? Unbelievable!" But something truly remarkable happened inside Zacchaeus when Jesus chose him. He stood up straight, his eyes shining with newfound purpose and conviction. He looked at Jesus and said, Lord, I am giving half of everything I own to the poor. He continued, and if I have cheated anyone, I will pay them back 4 times the amount. Jesus didn't just notice Zacchaeus hidden in the tree. He truly changed him from the inside out. Kids, here's what I want to tell you. As someone who's seen a lot of hearts over the years, Jesus sees the person you truly are, deep down inside, beyond any problems or mistakes. And when Jesus comes close to you, real change doesn't start with feeling ashamed. It begins with the simple, powerful experience of being loved unconditionally. So, if you ever feel too small, or too left out, or like you've done things you wish you could take back, just remember the story of Zacchaeus sitting in that sycamore tree, waiting to be seen. Jesus knows your name, and he still knows the way to your house, no matter what.